Right, we're live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the QLS channel. We are back for the final game of the weekend that we are covering on the channel, International Rugby. It has been a weekend of upsets, and it has been a weekend that the Northern Hemisphere will certainly remember for a long time. Argentina, they want to win this game, keep the Southern Hemisphere as one side that can win the series in round 2 of the Pacific Nations, or not the Pacific Nations Cup, sorry, but the Pacific Nations matchups that we are seeing between North and South. That was a weird sentence. I'm all flustered because I've got a mustache now, and that is because Wales were able to beat South Africa, so that meant that I did have to shave off the beard. So I feel a bit bare at the moment. And also France got the first for the first time ever. Yeah, massive for France. Ireland in second, South Africa in third, and then it will be New Zealand at fourth. And come on, Scotland. Complete the Northern Hemisphere sweep or Hemi sweep this week. And the thing is, if Scotland end up winning at every single game of the playoffs, will be an important one next week. And also, come on, Argentina, get one for the South. See Sakabula there, but we will be looking through at the starting lineups for both of these sides. We will start with Argentina, and it's going to be Titas Chaparro, Julio Montoya, and then Gomez Cordella there in the front row. Guido Petti and Matthias Alimano starting in as the locks. And then it will be Gonzalez at number 6, Crema at number 7, and Bruni at number 8. Now, the sad thing is Pablo Matera is out with injury, but he should be prepared to come back for the next match. So there isn't too much worry for Argentina in terms of injury, other than, of course, not having Nicolas Sanchez and a couple of the halfback options for the Argentines. And this one, Gonzalo Bertrano gets a slot in at 9, Santiago Carreras there at number 10, and then Geronimo De La Fuente at number 12, Matthias Orlando at number 13, Juanemov out on one wing, Cordero out on the other, and Emiliano Boffelli does slot in at fullback. And also we have got there, did you sleep? Are you still going? We are still going. We have not stopped yet. We managed to have time to have a shave in between the two live streams because, yeah, we did decide that if Wales were able to get themselves a victory, that we would end up losing the facial hair. So, yeah, like I mentioned a bit earlier on, I feel a bit bare. I had that facial hair for a little while. Now I just got the mustache, which I feel like is a little bit South American, maybe for this one, which is kind of cool. But Argentina's national anthem just about to play, and also Howdy, and also Vamos, Argentina and Freedom. Yeah, at the moment, Independence Day for Argentina from when they did break away from Spain about 206 years ago, I believe they mentioned just before. But this is this Argentine starting lineup now looking through at Scotland for this match. Pierre Schurman in the front row will be Cherry at number 2, and then Xander Fagerson at number 3, Sam Skinner and Grant Gilchrist starting in as the locks. Then it will be Rory Darge at number 6, Hamish Watson returns to the starting lineup at number 7, and then Matt Fagerson at number 8. Ben White gets a start at 9 with Blair Kinghorn slotting in at 10. So the same combo that they did go with last week, Sam Johnson, and then it will be Bennett at number 13, Darcy Graham, Dawn van der Merwe, and Rory Hutchinson as the back 3 there. And then looking through at the bench for these two sides, and also we've got their morning spots. Anyone says it was a Nazi Williams. And yeah, morning spots, anyone? Morning, wait, as in like morning sports or morning spots? Do let me know, Nazi Williams. I feel like my brain is going to be in slightly slow motion for this matchup, but it should hopefully be not too bad overall. Augustine Crevi coming off the bench is going to be an absolutely massive guy to have. And also Vivas in the front row alongside Sclavi, Polos, Focando Iza, Iscura, Domingo Miotti, and Matthias Maroni as the last name there for Argentina. Then for Scotland, Turner, Batti, Sebastian, Cummings, Christie, Ali Price, and then also it will be Thompson and Rowe. And also we've got the Warriors play today, says Xavier. They not. I believe it is the Broncos taking on the Raiders or someone along those lines. Broncos versus someone anyway. Warriors got a bye this week, says Nazi Williams. And also now we see the importance of a great midfield. Please come back to New Zealand. Nadia Mape says, believe that. There's a game on mute. AU has my commentator. Or game on mute. Have you of my commentator? I believe it is from Xavier. So I appreciate that a lot. And luckily we have got the Scottish commentary. Last week we did have a little bit more of the Argentinian commentary or the Spanish commentary for the start of the match, but it did end up getting swapped out in the end. But Argentina, it's going to be exciting for this contest. We have got a couple more games throughout the week that we are doing. Broncos versus the Dragons, says Nazi Williams. So I think the Broncos should be able to take that one out, shouldn't they? That contest. But now Scotland want to take out this match, as it will mean that every matchup of the big matches next week for North versus South will mean something. But Argentina, they'd love to be able to close it out. They've put an extra F in Ben O'Keefe, or an extra E, in fact it is. It's Ben O'Keefe for this one as the assistant referee. He will be excited for this one, and it is Matthew Raynell in charge of this contest. Right. we are ready to go. And also should, says Nazi Williams there. Although I guess that's the thing with the NRL, there's always those upsets, isn't there? They do kind of make everyone go, hang on, were they supposed to end up winning that one? The Warriors, I mean, they won against the Tigers, which I think was supposed to be better, and also been a Keith in there, as I says, Nazi Williams in there. But yeah, they put 2 E's and 2 F's in his last name. And also league is good, but I only care about NRL and State of Origin and international leagues. I can never watch low-level league. Says Xavier Brown, and we are actually going to be covering the game taking place of State of Origin, but Gonzalo Bertrano passing it back to Jorge Montoya. Santiago Carreras, a little bit of a handling error from Marcos Crema early, and it will now be the scrum feed for the Scottish. And also greetings on Argentina Independence Day, says Roberto there. So yeah, hope you are doing well. Can Argentina give quite the treat to the public? They do get themselves the win here. Score predictions for this one, says Gavin. My mind is saying that Argentina will take it by 7 points, but my heart is saying that Scotland will win it so that we get that 1-1 series heading into the last one. That's kind of what I want to see, but I think Argentina might be too strong for this contest. We have got currently, is that already an injury? That's not what you want 1 minute into a contest. Mad respect to you, brother. And 7:12 a.m. in the morning. Did you even get sleep, says Mark? We have not. So we have been up currently for 20 hours, and we have got this match up, and then I will probably be heading to bed at about 1 or 2 in the afternoon. Today, sleeping right through to probably about 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. on Monday morning, and then we're going to be getting up and getting back into editing and whatnot. Roasting our chicken and kumaras for brekkie, says Nazi Williams. That sounds like a decent breakfast. That's for sure. And also 24-12 for Argentina, says Gavin, for the prediction there. Dave Cherry actually already getting a little bit of medical attention in the early stages of this contest, which probably isn't what Scotland want to see, but the pack weights, they have got an extra 40 kgs, or 40 kgs less, I should say. But now, fired in Ben White, leaving it for Matt Fagerson. This will be the advantage now. Favour of Scotland now. Kinghorn goes on the outside. Great attack and run there. I believe it was Sam Johnson at number 12. He's been looking pretty decent recently in the times. And also, are you doing another AB's prediction with Rugby Itch? We certainly are for the third one, and I'm with you. It would be great for the third game to see a close Scott victory, says Roberto there. And yeah, that's the thing. I still want to see Argentina play very well, like yourself, but go Pumas regardless, says Roberto there. And I feel like it's just one of those ones that the third match, if the Pumas know that it's all to play for, they will play with such passion, and it will just be an absolutely awesome game to see, I think. Like, either way, I think they're still going to play pretty well in that third one, but the one for the Merva, trying to turn it around for the Scottish Cherries, how hard by Marcos Crema. Tries to drive him backwards, and now it is going back for the initial penalty. But yeah, that video will be coming out on about Tuesday or Wednesday. I believe he's currently in Zimbabwe still, but he should be in the US, I think, at the time that we are recording it. I'm with you, says Nathan. And yeah, and also have over again. Wales game was crazy. It was a nice win for the Northern Hemisphere. And also we've got the Hamish looking smooth, bro, says RJJ. Yeah, Wales did win, so we decided that we had to shave off the facial hair other than the mustache. So I am channeling my inner Nick White, although it's not quite at the standard of Nick White's mustache just at this stage. And also Argentina independent country in rugby, says Nathan there. Also, I'm going to be a Ferguson in this one. And do you think that should be, or should have been a red card for England, says Xavier Brown there. Do you think that should have been a red card for England? You might have to very quickly jog my memory of the player, just because, like, there's been a lot of rugby and my brain currently has gone a little bit blank. Red card for England. Which player are we talking? My brain's gone completely blank. And also, Hamish, your face, says Gareth. Cheers. Yeah. I mean, not quite the reaction I was hoping for, I'd say, but Blair Kinghorn about to line up this kick. Give Scotland an early lead in this contest. Should be straightforward. Does get it down the middle. And that is going to make the score now 3-0 in favour of Scotland. And also, when they elbowed Nick White in the head, I think it should have at least been a yellow for Alice Genge, that was, wasn't it? Like, I don't understand how he got away with not even a penalty against him, let alone not anything worse than a penalty. Like, it could have easily been a red because he had his elbow on the back of Nick White's head, had it there for quite some time. Like, for me, it's minimum, like, well, absolutely bare minimum, it is a penalty. But the fact that they didn't even give that was quite a surprise for that one. And also, it's my last league of the multi. Says Aiden there, and I was like, hey, all. Says David the Mod there, Mustache Says Nathan there as well, yeah. It will take a bit of getting used to, I think. Like, this part feels very bare. Although it's not as bare as it used to be. I like the fact that when I've done it, there's a slight little bit of hair or stubble still there. Never used to have that. Must be growing up. And any pressure between the teams? Or are they equal? Hamish says, Mark. I would say overall, Argentina will feel at a little bit of a disadvantage due to losing Nicolas Sanchez and Pablo Matera, but Scotland, they've still got a very good lineup for this match. And also, we have got their why wouldn't you elbow that piss boy, says Gareth. And there, and also, you've had a shave, says David. I did indeed. Because Wales won, it did mean that I did have to shave the face. So that is what happened for me. And that's the thing. It wasn't actually the only Northern Hemisphere win we've seen so far. And also, look sharp, my guy, says Nathan. Yeah, I don't know how long it's going to be sticking around or whether or not I am going completely clean shaven. It might look a bit weird being clean shaven after so long. I'm kind of doing Movember about 4 months early. Emiliano Boffelli going to be trying to line up this kick for Argentina. Now, Scotland are actually 3-0 up, but the scoreboard is a bit behind as we currently sit. So hopefully it does update. And the scoreboard hasn't changed? Hasn't, no. So hopefully after the next penalty kick it does. That's unfortunate. Don't tell George that happened. Also, I should mention George isn't here because he is going to be working today. And where do you think Tamua goes? I think he'll probably head to either France or Japan, to be honest. I think those are the two competitions he might be eyeing up. I don't see him taking part in the URC or the Gallagher Premiership, really. So I think, yeah, France or Japan. Also, I'm G. Gareth. Southern Hemisphere rugby has been atrocious. Come on, the RGs. And that is going to be curling nicely. It does come around, and now it is 3-3 between them. Watch out for those allergies, says Roberto. Yeah, I'm allergic to myself at this stage. And also, is this the last fixture or any other fixture soon, says Mark. So there is a match taking place between USA and Chile, but we won't be covering that one on the channel as it is going to be at 10 a.m. New Zealand time. And also, I don't believe they are showing it here in New Zealand very easily anyway. It might be on World Rugby's website, but we will probably end up watching that one off live stream. And also, I thought about a stash. Honestly, I can't get away with less than a goatee, says Gareth there. And to be honest, it is a tricky one to have because a lot of people straight away think that you're an 80s porn star, which, I mean, is a good thing and a bad thing, I guess you could say. But Nick White, he's committed to it. Like, it's probably one of those ones that if you do commit, you got to commit. You know, you can't kind of half do it. Like, I was going to leave the goatee, but I thought I wouldn't be allowed it. So I did just leave the mustache. See, I always worry when I say I'm going to shave my face, people will say, like, you haven't done your eyebrows. But they will not be coming off anytime soon. Flow Sports is a USA game, but I'm not paying $40 a month. And then Greco-Roman defence penalty from Scotland got us leveled, says Roberto. I may look at my surname, says Gareth there as well. But now, about to throw this one in. Dave Cherry. Oh, taking a bit too long there. Or in fact, maybe closing the gap too much, was it? No, what happened there? It is a penalty either way or a free kick to Argentina now. Currently 8 minutes through. The last time that we saw these two sides play, it absolutely flew by. I don't know where the game went, but 80 minutes was the quickest 80 minutes I have ever seen for a game of rugby. Luckily, this game seems like it's going to be a little bit more of a slow, methodical pace, which I feel like is quite a nice closing to the weekend of rugby that we have done. We've already done about 15 hours, if not more, of rugby live streaming today. We started at 11:50, and we are going to be finishing at about 9:50. That's a lie. It's probably about 9. What's over this one? One moment, ladies and gentlemen. We will go like this. We will go like there we go. We're feeling a bit better after sneezing my headphones off just before. And also we have got there, 2 cents rates you highly. He's shouting you out on his streams all the time, says Xavier Brown. So, yeah, maybe a collaboration. At some stage, we might have to see what we can do there. Seeing as, we both do New Zealand rugby, which really, I guess, links up perfectly if we do something. And also, you only get Beast Mode Seamus for the last game of the day. Love from the other rainiest planet on Earth, Ireland, says Colm there. And also looking to join the Mexican cartel, Hamish. What's happening there, mate, says Sebastian. Well, South Africa let me down, and Wales won, so this face had to be shaved. I was actually, if the fire was going a bit better than it is actually still going though. I managed to save it not too long ago. But I was actually going to wear, my Bahamas helicopter pilot shirt, Sebastian. I was very heavily considering wearing that as well because I was like, if I'm going to join the cartel, I might as well commit, have like the Hawaiian shirt as well. It looks like a Mexican gentleman in the Mexican mafia with his mustache, says Mark, and El Chapo Hamish says Roberto, and I'm going to shave on Monday and post it on Discord in support, says Gareth there. So yeah, see how it goes for yourself if you want to go for the mustache look or the goatee. And yeah, worst comes to worst. That's the thing with shaving. Like, worst comes to worst, you can shave it off completely and just go bare until it grows back. And he rates you because of your good rugby analogies. So here's David the Mod there. And also missing an S for Gareth Ferguson. And looking like an 80s porn star isn't so bad if you're going for a job interview and the interviewer is a 55-year-old woman. It's Gareth in the Barbados Taurus helicopter pilot shirt. Yeah, the good old one that we did end up getting ourselves, unfortunately, a copyright strike on when we did wear that nice shirt. I think the Sri Lankans didn't like it very much. What's the circle in the middle of the field? It is for the football that they normally would play, or the soccer there. So that is kind of like the starting circle on the halfway line for football, as it is normally pretty popular in Argentina, from what I've heard. Of course, making their way through to the World Cup. Hopefully they do end up doing all right as well. I swear if Scotland win, it's a clean sweep for the Northern Hemisphere teams, completely flip of all of them losing the week before, says Colm. And it will mean that every game of the last week of international rugby is actually going to be so important because already we have 3 deciding factors for 3 games now. Rory Darge goes down. This game is going to end exactly like every other Scotland will win in the end, says Hanley now. And there as well. Though last week Scotland did miss out, I will mention, but I think they will be better this week. They've got Hamish Watson back in the starting lineup and also in that back line. I think we're going to see a little bit more of Darcy Graham this week, but the ball's gone high, not quite taken cleanly there by Argentina. It was a knock on. He's trying to say it went backwards, but the referee is not having any of it. Santiago Cordero, very unlucky. And also we've got the AB's games get mad views impressive, says Xavier Brown. Yeah, we seem to get very lucky with those All Blacks ones. And like anytime we have more than like 20 people watching, I normally like am impressed because that's the thing. I've always been of the mindset that like it doesn't matter if there's 100, 1,000, 10 people watching, as long as those 10 people are enjoying the live stream, like that is my goal. Pretty much like I would rather have it that we've got 50 people loving the live stream than 1,000 people who hate it, if that makes sense. Also, next week's going to be very interesting matches. They certainly are. And also, Argentina winning the FIFA World Cup is definitely not out of the question. I can't see them getting the job done. Usually, I'm bang on with my football predictions, says Sebastian. And then also, does anyone know about the ranking shift of all the Northern Hemisphere teams win this weekend? I believe already France are number 1 and Ireland are number 2 at the moment. And also, Dalmania's got the George emoji. And there as well. Now, Sam Skinner charges for 45 metres out. And you have 80s. We're hearing men and women all around. Big shoulders too. Strange times. Says Colm there. Nice run by Pierre Schurman. Now fire back into the pocket. Blair Kinghorn puts up the box kick. Tries to get plenty of height on it. And that's gone out on the full. So they will be going right back to where that was kicked from. It makes sense. Says that Nathan there as well. And also we have got a little bit earlier on. A little bit later on. What about Ireland beating All Blacks? Congrats to them. I think that is from Janet. Yeah, it was an awesome performance from Ireland, and they just thoroughly deserved it as well. It was an absolutely brilliant game. All Blacks, they didn't quite find their, I guess, the way that they would have liked that game to go, but Ireland certainly were the better side, which is why I'm looking forward to the third match because the All Blacks are going to have to fire back massively, as he obviously joking, says Coleman. Also, man, Box, we're super unlucky. Both the win in New Zealand and a win for England over Australia, says Hanley now, and also AB's number 4. Says Nathan there, and also I hope Wales move out of 9th. I think with a win over the number 1 team, they certainly should. I think they'll move up to maybe 8th or 7th if they're lucky. That was not straight from Huria Montoya, and now the scrum feed does go the way of Scotland. We're already 14 minutes through this contest, and they didn't quite find Jako's mercy, says Sebastian there as well. Yeah, we've seen a lot of cards throughout the weekend. I believe Argentina versus Scotland last week was one of the games that didn't have any cards. If it had a 1 card, I think it was only the 1. Whereas every other game had quite a few. Oh, down on the front row. Now free kick to Argentina. Also, you have to jump places. You have to jump places if you beat the number 1 team. And also, O'Flower of Scotland. We will see your likes again who died and fought for your Weebit, Hill and Glenn and send them homeward. Says Gareth there. Couldn't have said it better myself, mainly because I don't know the words. Now Gonzalo Bertrano gives it back across to Rodrigo Bruni. It's been pretty impressive in recent times, definitely in the Rugby Championship, bringing that physicality. And also Ireland, I had to harden the message. I removed up and put the fear back into the AB's court, says Nathan. Now, I think they've done that because the All Blacks now have a lot to think about before heading into their next game. Luckily, they will get to have a little bit of a sit back and relax while the Māori All Blacks play, and the Scotland national anthem says only now it is indeed. Now, nice run from Santiago Carreras. Ball on the outside, trying to link up. It hasn't quite worked out. And now it's a knock-on from Argentina, but a brilliant bit of play there. And also, France team is unheard of. They were bloody dangerous in the Six Nations last time. If they were playing any of those 5 teams this week, they could have probably pulled an upset. Who knows, says Mark. And there is, and yeah, that's the thing. They've been playing up against Japan, and Japan have been giving them a good fight in those contests. But in the end, France, they know how to win in important times of the match, and they have done that twice up against Japan. Just not quite able to find that pass on the outside for Geronimo de la Fuente, but if that did find the hands of Santiago Cordero, that was certainly going to be dangerous. And it's funny how the whole lyrics of Flower of Scotland can be replaced with F of England, and it'd be the same, says Sebastian there as well. And yeah, I'm sure that is the thought of many Australians after the way that the match went up against England a little bit earlier on, but 16 minutes through 3-3 between these two sides. It's actually been about, I'd say, 10 minutes or so since we've had any points on the board. Both sides got the early threes, and now it's kind of slowed down a little bit more. Oh, now that's a big call. So Argentina are going to have the scrum feed because there wasn't actually a knock-on against Argentina. And also, Mark, the French team isn't unheard of. I can literally name all starting 15, says Gareth. And also, why does Antoine Dupont not like to travel with France? He didn't play versus the Wallabies last year and Japan this year, says Xavier. It's probably something to do with his top 14 contract. I would say that Toulouse have probably got something in there saying he's not allowed to play at certain stages of the year, or maybe it is just a case of he enjoys a bit of rest. At the end of the day, getting World Player of the Year probably puts a little bit of weight on your shoulders. Watch all the URC European Cup and all the New Zealand Super League. Honestly, there's more head-on-head contact in the Southern Hemisphere teams. Can you give a thought on why, says Colm? I mean, an honest answer is probably they do have a little bit of that. Oh, that's a penalty to Scotland. A little bit of that extra physicality, and also with those Pacific Island players in the competitions, that also adds a little bit more because they love putting in the big hits on the chest, and he's not allowed to play against unworthy nations, says Sebastian there. And also they beat Japan by 2 points, says Gavin. And now Blair Kinghorn going to be kicking this one for touch. But yeah, Bunnings NPC actually only 26 days away. I'm excited for that competition, and that one is the perfect example of a competition that probably won't get any more than 20 viewers per live stream, but we will still be doing as many of those matches as we physically can. Like, for me, I've got this weird thing at the moment, how I feel like I should be looking at numbers more, but at the end of the day, it's just like I want to make videos that you guys enjoy and live streams that you enjoy, and that is the goal. And hopefully we are doing that not too badly. And also, it looks like Scotland and England don't like each other. Bad history between them, says Hanley now. And Sebastian has put, or Roberto has put lol to Sebastian there as well. But now nice work there from Argentina to pull it down. I believe it was Matthias Aliamano almost snuck away for Scotland there, but it is going to now be a kick up high. They don't have Ali Price in the starting lineup. Instead, will be coming off the bench, and that's a really interesting and fair answer. Tonga versus Fiji, sweet Jesus, says Colm there. And Fiji versus Samoa, we're going to get to see that next week as well, which is going to be absolutely massive. That's a big shot. Oh, the Argentine play has gone down, and it is going to be possibly a line out now. No, it's a knock on, so it will be a scrum feed for Scotland. And Los Pumas pushing Scotland backwards. Yes, we can. And you're going to do Chile versus USA game, says Hanley now. I'd love to, but I think by then either my voice will end up disappearing or it might not even be shown in New Zealand, sadly, for that one. And also we have got there In the chat, what time is your guitar solo, says Max Power. Well, that depends on what time you're ready to have your socks rocked off. Halftime. Halftime might be the time. I'm not very good with my hyping up my guitar playing. But, you know, we might give it a go at halftime, just because halftime always feels so long, doesn't it? And these odds are also really, come on, Pumas. Here's JP there in lol from Max. And now, scrum feed from Scotland. Looks like a bit of a set play. Matt Fagerson goes off to Kinghorn, now linking around nicely. Was the number 9, Ben White, who has been playing for the Leicester Tigers more recently, now tries to kick it in behind Darcy Graham. He's been hit very hard in that tackle, and I don't even know if I called that a tackle. Xavier had to break it to you. Bayi, Marshall, Antonio, Valimza, Woki, Cruz, Gregory, Aldrit, Dupont, Intermac, Delphi. And also we have got there Fiku Villiers. And didn't travel, and the beard is gone, says JP. It is. Wales lost. No, sorry, Wales won, so it didn't mean that I had to shave me face. And I'm desperate for USA to reach the Rugby World Cup. It's essential that the Americans get around rugby for EA to consider making another rugby game, says Sebastian. And also just to give them momentum heading into that 2031 World Cup that they might be hosting. Nicely done by Hamish Watson. And also we have got there, you are the Kiwi, Mark Knopfler. Hopefully I've said that correctly. And how many times have you had to explain your facial hair, says Colin? About 6. Also, normally it is the case, though. Like, it's probably going to be on the live stream. How's that fire, says Peter Lowe? It's still going a little bit, but not as well as it was earlier on. I got a couple big logs on it. I think I got some pine and some blue gum, so it's going to burn for a while. Hopefully it stays going. I'll probably put some more wood on it at halftime to make sure that it's all right. Now, Kinghorn, that was a setup. He did just manage to get Sam Johnson running straight at one of the big Argentinian forwards. Now, Hamish Watson moving up to the 22, currently 20 minutes into this contest, and it is 3-all. Nice run. Tack and run from Hutchinson. No Stuart Hogg in this match. And Chile versus USA. That's a nail biter. It certainly is. I do hope it's relatively close so that the second match means a lot more for both of the sides as well. Kinghorn now goes back to Xander Fagerson. Looking for this pass. It hasn't quite worked out there. It's still very loose. Bennett looks like he's having a bit of a shocker there, but he's been able to clean it up, and he's lost his team about 30 metres in the process. Argentina straight over the ball, and it becomes a penalty for the hands on the ground, unfortunately. And if Scotland are victorious, all my predictions would be correct. There's the ball there, and also, bro, you should come around for a bri. And there says Peter Lowe. I would be very keen. And who's starting 10 and 15 for Scotland? So they have gone with Blair Kinghorn at fly half, number 10, and then alongside that, it is Rory Hutchinson, number 15. Also, are you going to commentate the Georgia versus Italy game tomorrow? As a big game that will really show how Georgia has grown these past few years. These usernames, I wish I could, but they don't actually have any option to watch it in New Zealand at this stage. So if I can find an option to watch it in New Zealand, hopefully it goes all right. And also, every time he explains what happened to his facial hair drink, says JP. And also, good morning, Kiwi lads. How was your sleep? When are the New Zealand Warriors playing next? I believe they are next weekend. And sleep-wise, we haven't actually slept yet. I've been up all night doing our rugby live streams once again. But Kinghorn, I got this ball, and he will be able to kick it into touch. I'm going to look up and see where I can find Georgia versus Georgia versus, where are they gone? Italy, there it is. Romania play Uruguay as well, but I don't believe that is going to be shown here in New Zealand either, which is a bit of a shame. So it would be quite a fun one to watch, but yeah, I don't know whether or not they're showing it. Hello, says Anthony, and they're welcome in. And have you ever been to Argentina? I have not, but I'd love to go to Argentina at some stage. And also just a ballpark figure, how many Bri invitations have you received so far? I would say at least 50, like not even exaggerating. And where is this game? Says Ferguson, it is being played in Argentina. So it is normally a rugby field, or sorry, a football field, but they are playing rugby on it for today. Now, it's got a very long name, and I'm terrible at pronouncing it, unfortunately. I feel like that would be a fun idea, trying to cook a braai in New Zealand. See how I go. And also back in Buenos Aires. Oh, maybe, but I could be wrong there. And also, yeah, love the fight night games as well. I'd love another one. And also, I was ice skating with my friend Xavier, says Anthony. So hopefully you did enjoy your ice skating experience in Hong Kong. Just won and beat South Korea 23-21, and we'll play Tonga. So yeah, big, massive opportunity for the Hong Kongians? The men from Hong Kong. And today is Argentina Independence Day. 206 years since they did separate from the Spanish, I believe it is, or somewhere around there. Yeah, very big day for Argentina, and hopefully they can get themselves a decent performance going. But currently this game is sitting at 3-3. Dave Cherry close to the touchline, but just keeping himself in the field of play. And apparently it is in Salta. Says Ferguson and Georgia and Romania go through to the Rugby World Cup 2023, who are the 6 countries still yet to qualify, says Nathan. So I believe USA, Chile, Tonga, Hong Kong, and there's also, there's the teams in the African side of things. I think Ivory Coast or Cote d'Ivoire are still going. Darcy Graham, nice run there. Blair Kinghorn passes on the outside now to Bennett. One more to Duan van der Merwe. He's going to be hard to stop from here, but they have done beautifully, Argentina. I'm going to give him a clap there. Brilliant tackle from, was number 12, Geronimo de la Fuente. Bit of push and shove there as well. 20 couple of men. I want Hong Kong to beat Tonga for rugby itch. Xavier Brown, and also I was falling everywhere and come to Ireland for a piss-up drinks, 51, says Colin in there as well. Yeah, I've had plenty of invitations anywhere I go in the Northern Hemisphere. It seems like, I mean, I don't know how serious some of the offers are, but it sounds like I've got a lot of couches I could sleep on if I end up in Ireland or South Africa in the future. And also, that is way up in the north near last week's game, says Fergus. And also, well, that's what we do. And if you're ever in, then you can come over for some fire-cooked meat and also 152 Fijiana 1 WTF. Yeah, they had a very good game up against Papua New Guinea and come to Colorado. I'd actually love to go to the USA at some stage. I did recently learn all 52 US states. 50, I think. I learned all of them anyway. And also, you guys allowed open fires. When we braai, it's usually an open fire, lots of booze, and some more booze than stuff you barely remember, says Peter Lowe. I think we are allowed to open fires as long as you like. I mean, in town, probably not. And also, I'm going to the USA Chile match next weekend in Denver. Go to Anstey and Hamish get stoned, and also 50 you idiot. And there says Colin there. And also we've got how are the Blackhawks doing lately? I keep Googling them, but I get unrelated stuff all the time. Says Mac Fowler, they are a tricky side to find. It depends on how you spell. Unfortunately, you are spelling the second word wrong because the shuttlecock in badminton is actually spelled the same way as a, what's it called? There's a word for it, like a fancy word. Appliance, I was going to say, but there's like a word that starts with A that describes a something. But now 25 minutes through, and also, damn, says Max, yep, it is spelled that way. And by the way, the game is played in Salta in northern Argentina, fairly close to the Chilean border. And there as well, says Sebastian, but now nice run forward for Scotland. Another little mistake on the ground, and it's a knock-on from Argentina. Appendage, that is the word that starts with A. Also, it's just less search for, says Colm there as well. Would that be our women's side? Because I know that we've got the white ferns and the black ferns and the all whites and the... So maybe it is our women's side. But yeah, appendage was the one that I was looking for. It's a fun sentence, isn't it? Just a little mistake from Argentina. They do need to make sure that they don't have too many more handling errors in the first half, or else they could get themselves in a little bit of trouble. We are already sitting currently 26 minutes through this game. Only 14 minutes left till we get a massive guitar solo from your boy. It also, yes, it is, but also don't forget that my missus is Zulu. So we're going to have some pepper and shakhala. Hopefully I said that correctly. And also Messi Marchants. I can't do it in rugby. And there says Jack, and also we've got there. You can find it on Flow Rugby. Says Fergus, maybe Hamish as an affiliate link. I don't actually for Flow Rugby, but I might have to consider it in the future. Although the only thing is I've heard bad things about Flow Rugby a little bit in terms of sometimes the games aren't shown when they should be. You mean USA, Chile, Scotland, and Argentina could have had quadrangular. That's a hard word. And Glendale, Colorado is big on rugby. Don't worry, Gareth. Gareth, if it's edible, I'll eat it. Says Sebastian there as well. And it works well, says Fergus. And there, see, I've heard like some people say that they do end up. Wait, is it Flow Rugby that I'm thinking of? There's one of them in the US that seem to be that people like buy it, and there's a few ads, but they're not a big deal. Says Fergus there. And did you shave since the last live stream? Looking sharp. I did indeed. Because South Africa lost, I sacrificed my facial hair for the box. Don't tell the All Blacks that I did it. If anyone asks, I did it because the All Blacks lost. It's a little secret. And also, they have all the big games See, here's Fergus there. And come on, Argentina, last soldier standing. Now, 15 metres out from the line, Sam Skinner. That's another handling error. It's gone backwards, they've said, though. And it looked like Blair Kinghorn tried to kick that one forward rather than just hanging onto it. It's a penalty to Argentina. Nicely done there. And like they're saying, inaccuracy from Scotland, more infringements. And it has been leading to quite a stressful first half, I would say, for both of these coaches. We are only sitting 3-3. It is certainly the opposite of what we expected for this first half of rugby between the two sides. If it was anything like last week, we were going to see just try and penalty after penalty. Now Santiago Carreras going to be going for the touchline. And also we have got the "Are you in the area?" says Fergus to Gavin. It's a good kick downfield from Santiago Carreras. And also the game is already sold out, says Fergus. So yeah, it's a massive one for the US. And I do hope they can get themselves a little bit of a lead heading into that second match just to relieve a bit of the pressure. But it's a massive opportunity for them. The cheapest tickets were $45 out of Fiji win 152. I don't think Papua New Guinea showed up to that game. I think they just said, nah, you can play like 3 of us. See how you go. But they just had all position Fijiana. And 100 plus, very decent viewership for this game. Let's go, 10 out of 10. See Sebastian there. And yeah, it is hugely appreciated you guys being here for the last match of the rugby weekend that we are covering. It has been a long one. We've done 5 live streams in the last 24 hours. And this will be the final one. And Hamish, you reckon Chile could pull off an upset? Seen a 4-year-old Chilean rugby game. They were versing other country. They look dangerous despite the fact that they are not a rugby countries as well, says Mark. That's the thing. Chile easily could get themselves through to the World Cup. And that is why they will be so nervous playing up against the USA. Or the USA will be so nervous. And we're a Sri Lankan Prime Minister, says Mac Power. Sri Lanka? Maybe. And also the only Papua New Guinea player I know is Mel, the Melbourne Rebels women's captain, says Xavier Brown. And also 152 house, says Jack there. And $45 WGF, says Peter Lowe. And looking very young there, Hamish. Yeah, we did end up getting rid of the old scruff. I guess you'd say your thoughts on Ireland's autumn games, says Jack. Oh, you might have to remind my brain quickly who they have got in their end-of-year internationals. Do let me know. And also, you mate, 152-0. How do you do? Or say after that, says Sebastian. Yeah, see, that's the thing. As the team who loses, do you go, like, it didn't work, did it? Like you can't really say, we'll get them next time, because you're not going to if you lost 152-0. Like, you might lose 100-0 next time if you improve. But you just got to go, at least we played, I guess. It's South Africa, Australia, and Fiji. Nice lineup for them in that one. And also, you clean up very nice. Maybe you must grow a mullet, says Cameron. I have been told that I should grow a mullet, but I have still been yet to be convinced. And good morning, Hamish from Bob in Lower Hutt. Hope you are doing well, mate. Nice short pass from, it was Petito Julian Montoya. Or Montoya. Breaking almost Emiliano Boffelli. Not quite able to get through there, though. Now Marcos Crema joins the breakdown. That's not the best pass now. Nice little kick in behind from Santiago Carreras. He is really a star for Argentina. He's still kicking it forward, testing out the football skills. And no mullets aren't allowed. And also, they can't even say they had the balls sharp because they're ladies. Sebastian, also, mullets have become the rugby uniform they have. And also, okay, the Abbies lose next week, you must grow a mullet. I can't guarantee that because the All Blacks might lose. And Jack in that order says Sakabula. And there's also a couple of Northern Hemisphere whitewash, says Ronnie O'Sullivan. It isn't too far away if Scotland win this game. We have seen 4 games last week go to the Southern Hemisphere. 4 games this week go to the Northern Hemisphere. And every game is on the line for the series next week. That is exactly what I want to see. To be honest, it would be absolutely awesome. See who steps up to the plate for those playoff games. And also, I like the ladies. There's Gareth there. And also, mullet to complete that 80s, classic 80s music, Van Damme look. And for the English, at least, says Peter Lowe. And also, have you ever had, if you get a Johnny Hill haircut, I'm removing my membership and unsubscribing from you. Says Xavier. What if I ended up getting it as a meme so that I can pull it myself? Would that be all right? Probably not still. Overall, but yeah, Johnny Hill, he hasn't quite got a mullet, has he? He's kind of got it shaved short. And also, we've got there, scored 140 points against Japan back in the 90s when the Japanese side was 100%. Japan, instead of the UN melting pot like today, says Max Power there. Now, currently, Argentina inside of the 22, Gonzalo Bertrano finds a nice offload. Yeah, and Argentina, they've still got 8 minutes left of this first half to try and go through it. As a good tackle made by Matt Ferguson. It might have been a little bit high, though. And now, because of it, Argentina, if they don't get themselves over the try line, they may consider taking on the 3 points to get a lead after 33 minutes. But Berrano now, Carreras with a beautiful wide pass. Now it's going to be dropped by Cordero out on the wing. And we'll be going back for the initial infringement in favour of Argentina. So if you're Argentina here, you take the 3, you get the lead back. And I believe it was Matt Fagerson who got it a little bit too high. And also, if this game ends in a 9-all draw, you have to shave your left eyebrow, says the Vault. Oh, I don't want... Do I get anything if it doesn't end in a 9-all draw, though, Default? Because I feel like there needs to be some sort of wager here so that I don't end up either looking like a goose or looking like a goose. You know, I need half his mustache, says Peter Lowe in there. Oh, okay, it was actually Ben White who made this slight high shot there. And the one fun to move ended up cleaning up. Quick question, what's the top cup competition, Champions Cup or Challenge Cup, whatever they are called, and who won them? So top competition is the Champions Cup, and that was won by... Ooh. Who won the Champions Cup? La Rochelle were in the final, I believe. Who were they up against? Jeez, my mind's gone completely blank. We covered the game on the channel as well. And La Rochelle, says Sebastian, so I can't remember who they played, but they did win it. La Rochelle. Did they play Toulouse in the... No, they didn't play Toulouse in the final. Who do they have in the final? Was it Leinster? And also, I say Carreras again, if you please, says Max Power there. And also, I really want to wear a stash, but it's basically blank between my nose. Says Gareth there. La Rochelle versus Leinster for that one. And also, didn't they play Montpellier? I believe it was the top 14 final, possibly. They had Montpellier and the other side, Castres, I think, were in the final of the top 14. And then the Challenge Cup side of things, I can't remember either. Geez, my brain's gone completely blank. The one I can only shout out random French names. Says RJJ and has a whitewash from Southern Hemisphere and Northern Hemisphere in 2 weeks. Ever happened before? I wouldn't think so. It's been massively, awesome to say the least. The fact that it's changed around so quickly. I was last on Spark Sport in 2019 World Cup. That was it. Hamish, do you know if they still stream these type of rugby games anymore, or did they lose that coverage? I'm currently on Sky Sport now. Says Mark. So I can tell you the URC is on Spark Sport, but other than that, you kind of get, I believe they've got the women's Pacific Rugby that they've got at the moment here, and also the under-20 New Zealand games, but I don't think they've got too many other licensings other than those ones. So I think those are the only ones they've got currently. And also, where can I watching? Says Enzo, depending on what country you're in, you've got Sky Sport if you're in New Zealand or the UK, Stan Sport in Australia, and Lyon won the Challenge Cup, beating Toulon in the final. That's the one, isn't it? I can't believe my brain went completely blank of all French sides. I feel like that could be possibly because it's 7:50 a.m. and we haven't slept for 21 hours. Could blame that and come on Pumas Pride and the Southern Season. Also, we have got there. We're going to shave. Have a mustache, says Gareth there as well. I believe Kinghorn, he has got himself a mustache here. But currently, Argentina sitting 3 points to 6. They are ahead by 3, and Scotland have turned down the 3 points to go for the corner here, which is massive for them, as it is just before halftime. They need to make sure that they get it right, and they do just that. Now Dave Cherry will be sitting at the back to try and get this one rolling forward here for the Scottish. It almost popped out the back for Dave Cherry, and now it's a nice bulldozing run from Hamish Watson helping out. Julio Montoya goes through the middle. That ball's going to be available now for Scotland with only 4 minutes left, and also Estas and Argentina Ahora mismo. And then, as I says, Fergus, I'm not too sure what that says. I only know about one sentence of Spanish, unfortunately. And come on, Pumas Pride of the South Seas. Always shave Gareth. I just like facial hair. Me dad told me the ladies hate sandpaper face. Lads, that's a try for Scotland. I thought they were going to go for a few more phases there, to be honest. But I think Matt Fagerson or Hamish Watson. Yep, it was Hamish Watson who went over. He's got a great first name. And also, what time is it down there in Mordor? Says Max Power. Is that me? Because if it is me, it's 7:50. And come on, Mel Gibson. Says Peter Lowe, and also try. And there as well, says Sebastian. But nicely done by Scotland. It was a risky tactic to try and go for the 7 rather than the 3. But Hamish Watson gets over. Oh, man, I wasn't paying attention. Did Argies get penalty or the drop goal 6 points? I was in the comments, says Mark. So they did end up getting themselves the penalty kick over, but now it is a try for Scotland, which does mean I get to keep my eyebrow. Hoorah. And also now I fear as a plant, says it was Ferguson. Also, let's go Scott, says Ronnie O'Sullivan. And also you think Italy and Uruguay can get victories tomorrow, says Cameron. I mean, I'd like to think Romania will have a decent crack. Sebastian's my guy, so that's why. But also, they did start the match all right up against Italy, and I would like to see how they go as spamming to get us to promote options. And there says Fergus. And there is and also Prima Nota or Nothia. Nothia? Have I pronounced that correctly? Blair Kinghorn, sorry. But lining up. I've learned that we've pretty much gone all around the world with our pronunciations today. We started off with Samoa and Tonga. Then we went to Fiji and Australia. Then we went to New Zealand and Irish. Then we went to Australian again, and then English. Then it was Welsh and South African. That one's missed from Kinghorn. And then now we are Argentina and Scotland. And I was like, why? I don't want to lose these Max Power. And also, well, if you let it grow, it becomes ticklish, not sandpaper. And also, do you watch First 15? I do try my best to watch a little bit of it. And yeah, there's a pretty good First 15 player or First 15 competition in New Zealand. A couple of key players missing in the Romanian squad. Upset is not out of the question, says Sebastian there as well. Because where are Uruguay compared to Romania on the rankings? Sebastian. Oh, Kyle Rowe gets the opportunity. That is because Rory Hutchinson is off the field. My tongue is doing weirdness. Jorge Montoya taking it nicely. Now back across. It is Rodrigo Bruni hanging on to this one. The tongue rolls are really going for it. Bert Rano passes it off now into the hands of Gomez Cordella. Now a little bit of a juggle there. It did end up going backwards. And also as Vlad Tepes still playing for the Romanians. Here's Max Power there. Now, going to be available once again. Bertrano gives it off to Montoya. One more pass off to Santiago Carreras, who then gives it off quickly to Matias Aliamano. Now back to Carreras on the short side. He has been a very good key or a very good player for Argentina in the Rugby Championship recently, and I think he will do it once again this year. That's a massive steal for Scotland, who now only have 40 seconds left of this first half until they do possibly just kick this ball out. Sam Skinner goes across to Hamish Watson. Yes, Dracula has nothing better to do than play rugby. And there's says Sebastian. There's Uruguay is $1.39 favourites to win that game tomorrow. And also, I never let the Fijians at my rugby club forget that they lost to Uruguay. Here's Xavier, but now rolling the ball back. Still 17 seconds left. Ben White going to kick this one into touch. And now with 10 seconds left, still one last crack for Argentina. But this half, it has gone a lot slower than the first half of the last matchup between Argentina and Scotland, I will say. But it is still flying by. And also, is it Kinalau? Boy, still playing for Romania. Says Nathan there as well. That's a tricky one. And also, do you cover soccer games? Says Cameron. We do a few football matches or soccer on the Kiwi Lads Sport channel. So that is the pin comment that we have got. So, yeah, be sure to check that out if you haven't already. And also, we have got the come on, people. Who else is going to shave with Hamish? Says Gareth. That is going to be a penalty to Scotland there. Very nicely done. Right. They are 2 points ahead. It looks like Blair Kinghorn is considering just tapping this one into touch. Okay, they're out of time. The quick tap taken and kicked into touch from Blair Kinghorn. And Georgia to beat Italy tomorrow. And also, what's the next fixtures for the Pacific or Women's Rugby Pacific? I had no idea when we're playing. It was not until I saw the highlight in Sky Sport while women's team are participating websites show no fixtures. So the next games that we have got, it is going to be the one that I actually want to cover on the channel is going to be taking place on Wednesday. And one moment, it is just going to load up for me in a second. Almost there. Women's International. It is Samoa versus Papua New Guinea. I don't believe we will be covering that one on the channel, though. That is a 5 p.m. game on Wednesday. But 7:30 p.m. Fiji versus Tonga women. I think we might cover that one on the channel because it should be an exciting match. I can show my balls, but the photographic proof might be slightly inappropriate. And also, I'll show my balls, says Peter. And also, guys, my family originates from Ireland, so I'm Irish, not Aussie, says Xavier Brown there as well. But then they have also got in 1 week's time, Fiji versus Samoa will be actually happening And that will be a big game. And that is on Sunday at 3:30 p.m. So that will be a late night or an early morning game until you watch the under-20s. I am actually hoping to do a couple more of them. Guitar Time, let's hear your version of Stairway to Heaven. And there says Max. I thought you would never ask, Max. And also, have you thought setting up a proper studio? Hamish says, Cameron, we actually do have a little Kiwi Lads pad at the moment, which kind of has a few LED lights and whatnot. It has been on one video in the past. How does one play? Who's knocking on my window? It's George. Are you not working? Okay, George is at my window, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to go and let him in. So I will be back in a very short moment. I was not expecting to see a George today because he was going to be working. I'll be back, ladies and gentlemen. Nice and warm in here. I've kept the fire going. The microphone is on, so they will be able to hear us. Hello, everyone. Oh, that's not good. Right.
Why are we watching Wales vs Ireland?
It's the halftime show. Would you like to grab your chair, mate?
Oh, yeah, okay.
I'll stick you over here. Ladies and gentlemen, we've now got a George. He's come out of nowhere. Oh, no, he's going to have a shocker here, though. Might be better move that a bit. Yeah, I hope you're doing well, mate. So George didn't end up working. Gets the day off because it's wet as shit outside. Sorry about showing my bottom on the camera, ladies and gentlemen. I do apologise. And you're doing the Māori versus Ireland game? We certainly are. Right, I'll get you a headset, mate. And also everything. Welcome back, George, says Sebastian. Now, you have missed a bit of a night.
Have I?
Yep.
Oh, South Africa lost to Wales?
Yep. Australia lost to England, as you know.
Gareth. Gareth.
Oh,
Is he there?
He is, yeah.
Gareth, they lost. I told you I'd give a bit of shit if they lost. Oh, the bop, bop, bop.
Oh, this is a right mess. This is well and truly tangled.
Springboks number one.
No, France now number one.
Yeah,
mate.
no.
Oh, that's interesting. So you can now say that imagine being South Africa. But Gareth's a good bloke. He's been with
a
us
good
all
bloke,
night.
but you give shit, you got to learn how to take it.
Right, we'll
Imagine
go like this.
being a South African rugby fan.
How's it going, George? Says Cameron there. Hey, George, a classic loyal rugby player prop. Says.
Yeah.
Right,
Who won this game between these two?
Well, way back in the day, I believe Ireland were able to get themselves the win there. And I'm George, or OMG, George's waste again. We were actually just about to have a guitar playing session.
Really? You really?
Like, literally, I was just about to play my notes. They wanted Stairway to Heaven, but I was going to give them Rick Ross. Is that what his name is?
Yeah.
Are you ready? I've been practicing.
Being a super.
Oh, we go.
Gareth.
Yeah, so that is a whole Georgia. Welcome back, you beautiful man. And yes, imagine being a. Also, we have got the Hamish. You should make your own few second intro song every time you post or go live on YouTube. That would be a good idea.
Cameron Kleinhans. I work with an Irishman sometimes. Yeah.
Did you like my? This isn't actually
I'm not
how you actually clap.
This is highlights. So I wish I could watch these games, but there is at like 5 in the morning on a fucking Sunday.
Gary does a majestic, unimpressed face. He does. He's very good at it, aren't you? You just look like you hate everything, but you don't.
I'm enjoying this.
The highlights.
Yeah.
You noticed anything different about me?
No.
Anything at all that's different?
You got a different jersey on?
No. Anything different?
No. Oh, you shaved off your pubes.
Yeah.
You didn't shave them off properly, though.
No, but I had to leave the mustache because Wales won.
Is that on the line? No, it's not even on the line, mate.
So currently in this game, it is 8 points to 6.
Okay.
And also, it's like, how do you juggle sex and talent? It's tricky. Sometimes you just
There's
gotta...
that many women. Sometimes the talent just gets a bit hindered.
I sneezed earlier and my headset came straight off. It's pretty impressive. And 10 out of 10 playing Made a Cry Beautiful deserves to be on future Disney soundtracks and movies. So imagine if they rickrolled kids in a Disney movie.
Oh, damn. Don't know what all that was about, Reece Emmett. Is that Reece Emmett? What was all that about? He just lost his shit. Watch this. He doesn't even have the ball.
Oh, no, that was Josh Adams back in that game up against Ireland.
What was he doing? He didn't even have the ball. Oh, obviously Sexton's going to milk it. It's so stupid. What was he doing? He just...
We are currently at half-time, ladies and gentlemen, I should mention. And I've found a friend. I just make noises with the guitar and hope that it sounds all right.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
How often do the Welsh beat the Irish?
Not much recently. What's up with this part?
I don't know.
It's just a perfect strand of random...
I don't know.
I'm becoming
I can't tell you.
Superman, mate. We just go like that. That's kind of what the Rockers have, isn't it?
I'm so glad I'm not harvesting yams.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's good for you, isn't it? Having a day off after working hard all week. Foster has to go. Says Max there, and also we were there, George. I'm going to a stash on Monday. He's going to do the stash. So Monday because a razor ain't going to work. Need my spirit animal Isaac. So do it too.
Okay.
You got the mustache going, don't you?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. What kind of work does George do? At the moment, I help a farmer harvest yams. Well, one. So who won Six Nations? Ireland?
No, France.
Oh, okay.
I have to try and hide this one piece of hair that's trying to take over my life.
What one?
Isn't it, eh? I don't think you've ever been around this early, with the intention of staying for a bit.
No.
So what are the plans for today?
I don't know. I'm trying to download Red Dead Redemption on my Xbox, isn't it? Some tackle that was. Oh, damn.
Sorry, everyone. I've just been enjoying playing some guitar. We're currently waiting. There wasn't a lot in that first half. A lot of drop ball.
Yeah.
And then the one try at the end for Hamish Watson. And was that a red card last night by Angus?
No. What was it? What's your favourite European league? I like the English Premiership because they speak English. I love the French top 14, but they don't speak English, and I can't watch any games where they have English commentary.
Really?
You know, I can't find any. I don't have it on Sky or anything.
Ah, okay, that makes more sense.
If you don't have it on Sky, there's pretty much limited opportunities. I want to watch the Japanese top league, but they're very limited as to where you can watch it if you don't watch it on Sky Sport as well. So what happened between Ireland and France?
It was a close game in France, but France able to win it by about 3 or 4, I think it was.
Yeah.
And George, good morning, and the man is a fountain of knowledge. He is.
Yes.
And I was like, I can't type for shit. It's very tricky to type sometimes. And Chic Flow Rugby, there's English commentary on there. As I'm Premier Sports has English commentary chat as well. And also we have got there. It would be funny if these two teams tied for penalties. A game a few years back ended in a stalemate. It was a draw, no tries, but a crap ton of pens. I believe it was 14-14. It was in Samoa, says Mark. In the French Grand Slam Europe and the Six Nations, and also we've got there Japan 15 or 13-15.
What do you think of the French challenge? Do you think they're going to last?
I think they got a decent crack because the good news is it's not just the one team that they've got currently that's strong.
Yeah.
It's those young guys also making it up through the ranks. It's called the Rock, says Ronnie O'Sullivan. Oh, yes. What's a well-known song that I know?
We'll go cook me some eggs, mate.
Could do.
Everyone knows that one, Hamish. That's Pink Floyd.
Oh, second half just about to get back underway.
Go Argentina.
Really?
Yeah.
No, we want Scotland to win so that all of the games mean something for the final round.
I feel like next week, Southern Hemisphere is going to get smashed.
Ooh. Oh,
well, have you seen the latest thing? I was on the toilet this morning. Right? Apparently, Peter O'Mahony told Sam Cane that he's a rip-off version of Richie McCaw.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know about you, but if that doesn't motivate a man to fuck shit up, I don't know what will. If I was Sam Cane and I was playing next weekend, I'd want to kill a man. God, that would make me angry.
I was like, yeah, what's for breakfast, lads? Says Sebastian. Well, I've got bacon in there.
No.
Okay, well, not bacon.
Nah, man. Don't put that shit near me, eh?
What, bacon?
No, I'm not a big fan of bacon. Give me a steak.
A steak for breakfast.
Yeah.
And beer makes my keyboard bigger in my mind, but effing tiny in reality, says Peter Lowe.
What are you doing?
And so how does potato farming work? I grew up on a livestock farm in Western Cape, 80 head of cattle, 300 ewes, and 300 sow, or 3,000 sow.
Not potatoes, yams.
Yams, like a little crinkled up potato.
Yeah. You may not have them where you are.
Have they got any other names internationally?
I don't know. I don't know enough about them.
George wants waffles.
Yeah.
Do you like
I
waffles?
get waffles at McDonald's.
Hamish Watson gives it back now. It's a good run for, but Santiago Carreras has done nicely. See, Argentina, or sorry, not Argentina, South Africa, Wales only had one try scored.
Yeah.
That was in the final minute of the game almost. Now, offside advantage.
So I feel like Argentina is one of those sides that is a rising power.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Because they are, all they got to do is learn how to produce better players. Like the issue New Zealand has got is they lose a lot of their best players to Europe.
Oh, good run
from
Rory Dash. Although the thing is, Argentina currently, they don't have a domestic team, really.
Yeah, I know, but they still are able to get access to a lot of the guys. Is Pablo
Matera that's playing? A run.
Is Pablo
No, he's injured, but he will be back next week. That's a great run there for Bennett to run in. Nicely done. Oh, yes.
Well done.
You're the lucky charm.
Well done.
We only saw one of those in the first half, and it was 38 minutes in. Also, would you like a North versus South State of Origin sort of game for New Zealand and the Union? Says Xavier, we did actually have the North versus South a couple of years ago, didn't we? Which did go down as a hoot, but no one really did another one for some reason. And a bacon sarnie, my hangover breakfast bacon brings me back from death after getting shit-faced. Says Sebastian. Also, bada bing ching, I'm hating it. There's Max there.
Bada ba ba chang. I'm making it.
Making it? You making the breakfast? What are you making?
Clear Kinghorn.
Have you had breakfast?
No.
Are you hungry?
Yeah.
Oh, so it hasn't garnered that much traction. Says Fergus there.
I'm tired.
Did you sleep well?
I probably only got to bed at sleep at 2 a.m.
And I was like, Kiwis don't have a loyalty to their island, says Fergus. Yeah, it wouldn't be so much as like getting behind a certain island. It would be more just getting to watch New Zealand players play New Zealand players type thing. And also, I've got Bon Jovi in my head. Thanks, Aaron, says RJJ. No worries, mate. The fact that you know it was Bon Jovi means it wasn't absolutely dreadful.
Seriously.
The KFC for breakfast, says Xavier. I mean, it's probably an option, but I don't know whether it's a good one, is it? Hey? Fast food. I love it. And also, I'm going to the Decider next week, says Max. Now, I'm from Waikato. We have a little in common. Oh, we have a little in common with, see. And also, we've got there, so how does a yam farm work? It's once off, hey, so after harvest, you got to re-sow. Sorry to talk work, but I'm interested, says Gareth.
Yeah. You got to re-sow it in spring or whatever. And, yeah, they do it, you know. They do what they do.
So you started working there a couple months ago, didn't you?
Like 2 months ago.
When the harvest started. And to not lose good players, you got to suck, says Peter Lowe. And also, are those ones to your mates? Are you hungry nicely? Inside, make your own. And there as well, says Nazi Williams.
Those ones to your mates. Are you hungry nicely? Yeah. Well done, Nazi.
I remember cooking food in Daniel, or we all cooked a barbecue inside of Daniel's shed.
Yeah.
And it was bacon, eggs, sausages. It was a good mean feed, as the Kiwis would say.
Yeah.
And also, when's the next podcast? That's a bloody good question, Xavier. Thank you for bringing that up. George, when's the next podcast?
I don't know.
George is in charge. And I just do what he says, you know?
Yeah.
He's like the mafia boss.
Yeah.
He runs the monopoly.
We'll go really, isn't it?
I'd like it to be like a once a month thing, maybe.
Yeah.
Minimum. Yeah.
Yeah.
A bit of fun. Get to catch up, won't we?
Yeah.
And so I clearly, I clearly annoyed you, George. Forgive. No, he's half asleep, isn't he? He's all good. It's hard to tell, isn't it? He's smiling right now. It's just, you can't tell. And plus, he loves talking about farming, don't you?
Yeah. It's great. It's great.
He's not crying. He's just. And also, we have got the George could be a crime kingpin. He has the face for it, I don't know. There's Sebastian there. Yeah, he doesn't give him much away, does he?
If I was a drug dealer, I'd just be like, is he angry? Is he said, what's wrong with this guy? Has he got the money? And I'm just like, what's wrong with him?
Rico Bruni actually getting taken off the field now for Argentina. And anyone else see George is a mix of Ron Perlman and Tyke Furlong.
I see me as Rod Perlman. I love that man.
Ron Perlman.
He's the guy. I think he's the guy in that TV show, isn't he?
That TV show.
Parks and Rec.
Oh.
I think he's him, isn't it? The guy. I love that guy. I just love him. Is Chica the coach for Argentina?
He is, yes.
Yeah.
And also, you guys commentary chemistry was on fire last night. Good combo, man. So here's Nazi Williams there. You're right, son.
These cameras, man. Yeah.
Sons of Anarchy, says Cole. And also, Foster and Kane need to go. If not, can't wait till the oopsies. New Zealand lose the Bledis load. And also, please sing us a morning carol.
Don't do that. Ron Perlman is Hellboy. I don't know. I think it might be really.
You're thinking of Ron Swanson.
Yeah.
With the mustache.
Yeah.
Bertrano now passes on the outside. Emiliano Borfelli.
Why'd you kick that one away, bud?
Not too sure because it's gone straight into the hands
and now they're
of the number 23.
Don't kick it.
Oh, he's missed the tackle though, and now nice stepping back from Santiago Carreras. He's really been impressive.
The Argentinians do actually have some quality players, don't they?
Yeah.
And I have a feeling that if they have no issues trying to get, players, I feel like they could actually be one of those countries that could be really good. But what are you doing?
Just reading that one from Peter in my head.
George is the awkward wanker asking for a refund after sucking dick in a bar toilet. What? Yeah, we'll scrap Peter. We'll go.
Oh yeah, he's invited me to a braai though.
I'll
So
drop him.
can we eat the food first and then you do
No.
the scrap? That's a great run. Oh, he slammed it down, but he might have dropped it in skeleton SOS with all the injuries to our locks. And I was like, then all of his fair on a roll. And there as well, says Tristan, they certainly are currently sitting 3-0 up.
Peter's just a wanker.
It's nicely done by Los Pumas.
Why has it got T2 next to Scotland?
2 tries.
Oh, from tier 2.
I can't believe you read that out, George. Yeah, I thought I was, I read it in my head and dropped me phone there. What a comment, says Sebastian there. And also, did Scotland score another try, says Cameron? They did at one point. They're now on 15, but Argentina may have just been able to score themselves a try, although I think he might have juggled this on the ground. That's a forward pass, isn't it? Is that one of your new jackets, is it?
Yeah, mate.
What's this?
Go away.
Sorry.
I was going to go to work. What do you think I need this to be clean to go play in the mud? Not everyone sits in a nice warm room like you, mate. Hey, what's this?
Who made that comment? Says Barry Green. That was who was it? It was Peter. And I was like, I can listen to Seamus with the kids in the car during the day. And not these late night shows with George. You're doing great, lads. Love the show, says Colin there. And also, why not, says Nathan. And also, why don't Higuares join the MLR? That would be kind of cool. Yeah. It's a no try for the full pass.
God damn it.
So Guido Petty, unfortunate. Not get that one. And also, Xavier Higuares plays Argentina A right now. They transitioned from the club to a national team pretty much. Says Sebastian there. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
No. Your vocab gets spicy in the AM over there.
It's just George, isn't it? he loves those risky words.
Yeah.
You know, normally we're PG.
Yeah. What are the guys with the Pumas? Are they still a club or have they been dismantled?
Pumas. They're Argentina.
Yeah, I don't know. They had a competition. Oh, I thought you mean the Hugararis.
They are currently Argentina A by the sounds of it. The Pumas not contracted to Sansa. They are for the international side for Los Pumas, but not for Argentina A. And I was hoping the RGs weren't getting nailed too. Says Sammy Sosa, and also we got there. George is a savage, says Barry, and also yep, says Colin. Yep. And there's well, kicked him behind, bouncing up nicely. Now good take from Argentina, and also Colin, you'll go. That's a big kick. That's a big kick. Jeez, that's taken off. That's like the field's downhill, isn't it?
No, it'll be level.
I want to say he dropped this ball as well, by the way. Oh, no, he didn't.
What are you doing? What are you supporting? Who are you supporting?
I'm supporting myself.
Why would you do that?
Because I've been sitting on this chair for 16 hours.
Why don't you even get up and go for a walk, mate?
And ref fault, I guess, says Delamain, and also the 4 pass roll, says Max Bauer, and also, man, just like I predicted, Scotland win 4 out of 4. And there says Andre Nell. And there, 4 out of 4 would be a massive one for the Northern Hemisphere sides, wouldn't it? That looks like it's an injury for a man with a mullet, and I want to say it's Hamish Watson, but it might be Rory Darge. In fact, it's actually going to be Rowe. The youngster, in his first cap, he is now gone. And they beat Georgia last week. Did Higuares Argentina A/Argentina 15. And then AB's 4 for the world, lads. If they lose the next test, do ye fire Foster? I mean, they seem to like him quite a bit, don't they?
Who, Foster?
Yeah.
No, they don't.
No, like the big higher up guys do, though.
That's what everyone hates Foster for, though. So that's why he got the job. What did Foster do? He was the assistant for the All Blacks. What did he do before that? What size was he?
Oh, around the side, Dusty Graham. Now having a decent crack. Waiting for Argentina. Now Dave Cherry around the side. 3 mullets on the Scottish team classic. And if Scotland score again, it's over. RGs won't get back, says Cameron there. Now around the side once again. driven down. Hamish Watson gets close, tries to curl or crawl his way towards the line. Pierre Schorman and Chief Coach. And then no Super Rugby title, says Dalmain, and also Springboks will come back to claim number 1, and New Zealand will get back to their number 4 spot in the world, as I says Jan Ray there. And now currently another advantage in favour of Scotland Chiefs, and Waikato coach failed those 2 seasons, or those seasons too. Says Dalmain, and also no titles for the Chiefs, says Nathan there. So you'd have to wonder how he got the job, really.
He was assistant coach under Steve Hansen.
Yeah, but if he hasn't got any proven...
Yeah, I know. That's why everyone said they didn't want him to be coach, but it was the old boys club. That's what they were saying.
That's close for Schurman. Yeah. And it's held up, and it is going back for the initial penalty as well until Dave Rennie says Nathan there, right.
Dave Rennie's not going well at the moment either.
Argentina are going to the bin.
Oh. We got 3 people over here. You are going to do that run, you are dead. Where's the ref from?
Do you really have to ask that?
Yeah.
It's about as French as they come, mate.
Oh, okay. Pretty Spanish.
Ah.
He's like, hello!
And he's waving to
Croissant! So are we getting KFC or what? Somehow I didn't get up at 6:45 in the morning.
To not get KFC? Yeah, we might go. After this match, of course. We've still got a match, that's happening.
We might just head off, guys. Okay? Post it out, Crusaders coaching. Start small one, win the World Cup. Well, I mean, I feel like if we brought Scott Robertson in, I'd love it. But I feel like if he lost, everyone would be like, well, what do we do now? You know? I want Scott Robertson to do international coaching, but I kind of also am the sort of guy that's like, he's always had good teams, man. Like, you know what I mean?
And I'm so excited to lose Splitter. So Cup says Dalmain there. And also round up the millets. And okay, this has absolutely iffle to do with gas. Says Peter Lowe. Geez, that's close to the line now. Once again, Scotland having a good old crack at the line, trying to find some way through. That's over. And Scotland score again.
Oh, shit.
They've done it again. And so, Mr. Meyer, are you wanting to be a farmer? Do you want to run the place? Very different to farming over here.
No, I can't run that farm. I don't have $4 million.
Can I have this microphone?
Okay, what foot is it?
Yeah, that's all right. You can itch it, but I'm just going to move the cable. That's all. I love my job, says Dalmain. And also, Joshua tries to step the modern try, says Sebastian there as well. But yeah, Scotland with that try on the board, you'd have to say now maybe it's just a little bit too much for Argentina to have to try and make up. It's going to be 2 converted tries and some, and that's game, set, a match. There's Cameron in there as well. Like they're saying, Argentina down to 14 men. Reza Rangi saved the ABs before. So goes Frosty, says Nathan. And also try for who? It was a try for Scotland. And this match, and also 4 for 4, lads. OMG, clean sweep. By the way, Tyke Furlong is a massive farmer. He loves a good spud, Tyke Furlong, doesn't he? He actually, there was an article a while ago.
Know? What are you doing?
I'm moving this so that you don't.
That's not good. Because if I go like that, that's coming off. Keep it on top of my foot.
Put it over here, eh?
You know how and use George to run the farm. Oh, yeah?
Al and you, George, to run the farm. Maybe I could run your farm, mate.
I don't think you could. You just put chickens everywhere and it would be shit.
That would be fun, though, wouldn't it?
It's not fun. I'm doing it for fun.
And also, my multi is good. Says Aiden, you look very sad about it. Is it actually good? Aiden, or is it missed out? And also looking like a clean sweep the second round for the Northerners. Says something so don't try for Argentina. I miss it. Says it was Nathan. And also, can we have a George and Hamish play a rugby match for their local team drunk for a video? I don't know whether or not they'd let us play drunk.
No.
And I don't even know if they'd let us play.
Yeah.
But we could do some sort of real life kicking thing.
Yeah.
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 And also, I like his head as a potato, says Colin there. And yeah, he has a farm, Tyke Furlong.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, he eats like 12 spuds a day or something at one point. No, he was going through a potato diet.
Oh.
And also, has it ever happened? 4 teams winning on the same week, says Colm. Not very often at all, I wouldn't say.
It's the downfall of Southern Hemisphere rugby.
And where did chickens come from? I thought it was yams. Yeah, but you got to have a couple chicken coops, don't you?
No. Just
to keep the chicks happy. Only chicks I'll be getting, eh?
Why are you the way that you are?
No. Sleep deprivation,
Yeah,
I'd like to call it.
No, that's it. That's it.
Now, Gonzalo Berrano. Oh, it's another free kick to Scotland.
God,
another
this
mistake.
Is so lame.
There are a few mistakes coming from both sides. You've been enjoying the game, though, haven't you?
Yeah. You also got to remember, none of these sides, All Blacks, South Africa, Australia, and Argentina, had any preseason games. None of them had any preseason games.
I guess, yeah. Then
none of them. These two games that these guys have played are the first 2 games of the season.
Yeah, other than Six Nations for Scotland.
No, but for the other sides, Southern Hemisphere.
Yeah.
So of course, they've had 6 Nations.
Yeah.
But these guys, this is literally the second game of the season for Argentina. So, yeah.
You're going to say, win the World Cup in 2023, you have to shave your head and eyebrows for a video. You keen?
No.
And also, we've got the one in Portugal versus RGB. I think Argentina might have, although it was close. I think Portugal might have actually been in the lead at one point. The SA World Champions, the only effing Northern Hemisphere team to win the World Cup is England, says Colm.
And we only did it by 1 drop goal.
And also, David Kidwell. I wonder where that already got to, says Nathan. And I was like, I'll do it, says Dalmain. And then it seems that the Sanzar test will be all the deciders, or will all be deciders, which is pretty awesome to see because it keeps you on the edge of your seat till the end of the game. You're on the edge of your seat currently, aren't you? Boy, you're excited.
Revving the engine.
Augustin Crevi back out there for Argentina. 37 years of age, Marcos Crema. He is a tough man to put down. Argentina, they don't look like they've quite given up in this contest. Nice short ball. Carreras gets... Oh, he's dropped it. He's dropped it. It's unfortunate for him. And George Northern Hemisphere teams are tired after a full year of playing. Pick your poison, says Colm there. Oh, he's giving you a zinger in the rib cage.
You want to fight? You want to fight?
No, we don't just fight everyone. Here's our Hemisphere Rugby has always been and is strong, and also, yes, but at least we didn't struggle against 14-man France and rob them of a World Cup, says Ronnie O'Sullivan there.
What was that?
No, you can't fight Ronnie as well.
No, yes, but
can't take everyone.
Didn't struggle against us and rob them of. When was that?
I'm Irish, I'll fight, says Colm. I feel like that's the thing.
When was that?
You'd drink with George, you'd fight George, and then you'd have another beverage with George
no,
and discuss the fight.
You won't be getting up.
And I was like,
you drink with George and you fight with George. That's not good because George, when he's drunk and fighting, is not a good thing.
South Africa got very close to winning with such a changed team, says Yanri there. And I say that life is too tough for me, buddy, says David. And also 2011 Kiwi. There's Roy, yeah. That good old Rugby World Cup final,
if I can remember correctly, the French were very lucky to be in the final because there was a very controversial game against, I think it was Australia that they won or something. So I'm just saying they were very lucky to be there.
And also your friend says about it being their second match of the season. Surely that would apply to the autumn series regarding the Northern Hemisphere.
Yeah.
There's username there as well. And also, but does George shout? He does shout. Very loud. Or are we talking like food-wise? It's all bad to lads love it as well, says Ronnie O'Sullivan. And there's, yeah, you can't fight everyone.
Okay.
No, you can.
Okay. Watch me.
Augustine Crevi now. Getting close. 20 minutes left in this game.
Oh.
You excited, are you?
Oh,
George, I'd be better with your booze, you makaya. And then also Zimbabwe are going to win the next cup. I'll put my cock on the block. There you go. Another people there. The Northern Hemisphere stepped up and making this series interesting. Come third test internet, says David, exactly right. And also we have got there, does he shout busies? Says David the Mod. I think so. You'd shout busies, wouldn't you?
Beefs.
Busies, yeah, beverages.
Oh, it depends.
He once got me some KFC.
Yeah.
And then I got him some KFC.
Yeah. Because
we're dating, it makes it so much easier to work out who's paying for things, doesn't it?
Well, the man usually pays for the food, isn't it?
Yeah. So you've paid for nothing, have you?
I paid for all your KFCs.
We're not actually dating, ladies and
gentlemen.
We are,
aren't we?
No.
In a relationship?
Not that I know of.
Also,
we have got Super Rugby needs to make. I have some more games play everyone twice, like the Premiership, and George to play and the scrum for the All Blacks next week, and then they will win. That's the thing. I wouldn't play off a Tonga Fussy next week, and they will need a tight head prop. Have you played tight head prop in your life?
No.
Would you like to?
Yeah, I'll make Peter O'Mahony my bitch.
See, that's the kind of attitude that the All Blacks need,
They
isn't
didn't
it?
have any of that in that game. They were just playing like they didn't want to be there.
Sam Cane would have been sitting there after hearing he was the BTEC Richie McCoy. He would have been like, well, that's not very nice.
I honestly swear to God, if that man's not fired up, I'm going to be angry.
LG Hosh, so does that make you the Taylor and also there, George? Did you play first 15?
Yeah, kind of.
For the year that we had one.
Yeah.
Our school wasn't very big. To get in the first 15 for our school,
you had to be a male.
Yes. Do you play rugby? Not really, no.
You're
in. That's another penalty to Scotland, and also that's okay, dudes. No judgment. Brokeback Mountain needs a sequel. Have you seen that movie?
No.
Neither.
That guy looks like he's having a great time.
Matt Ferguson taking some deep breaths there on himself, but now Blair Kinghorn about to kick this one towards the touchline once again. Really? Kinghorn kicks it out.
Nah.
You all right? You love making noises, don't you? It's fun. Like just random things. You all right? You want to have a nap on the couch, do you?
Yeah.
I'll finish this off and then you know. You think you'd actually be able to fall asleep there within 20 minutes of this game?
I would say so, yeah.
You think?
Yeah.
I'll bet.
No. Oh, you egg.
Okay, he's dropped it. It also looks like a boring and one-sided game, says Henry there. And I'm going to unsubscribe. I thought you were a couple, says Delmain. And there's we can be if it helps keep you around Delmain, because it's been great having you. You know? Bud. Also, I watched that film of my missus. The more I watched it, the more I found her unattractive.
That just happens, Sebastian. Let it happen, mate.
And also, we have got also, I got a suspicion there's some bad culture in the AB's camp, but I'm not taking anything away from the Irish. Nice run from Duan for the Merva, just in the field of play for Kinghorn. 10 metres out from the line now. We'll be back across. Ali Price goes off to Hamish Watson, considers the offload, and he does find it's to Sam Skinner. George to go. And there's George. Why do you judge the farming talk? What do you want? Or what you want? Or what you do is beautiful.
Oh, cheers.
If you love farming, Gareth, be sure to check out the Kiwi Lads Gaming.
Yes, we played farming simulator video. We've got more coming up.
I don't have the link.
Why not?
It's changed, isn't it?
No.
Because I was copying and pasting other stuff, so it's not there. But be sure to check out Kiwi Lads Gaming, Gareth, because we've got farming simulator over there. I sell cocaine out of the back of my truck. Don't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was good times. Go check it out, guys.
South Africa refs are magicians. One walked up to the ABs, said, pick a card, any card. Says, I am nutty there. And then he showed the same trick to about 3 of the other players, didn't he?
Yeah.
Just to test it again. And man, South Africa versus New Zealand, who do you think will win with both teams playing so bad? Says Henry. It's a very tough one to pick at the moment, to be honest. And the Kiwi Lads Gaming, Sebastian's the man.
Yeah, Sebastian.
He can't find a link. No one can, you know.
Adi Savia, another one that next week needs to come out firing and prove the people wrong.
Also, you guys are awesome, says Delmain. Do appreciate it a lot, mate. And also, you guys I have to do live gaming like last year. Great fun. That's another try for Scotland. I'd enjoy live gaming.
I've considered it, but it's hard because you plan it, schedule it, and then I'm not available because I might be working or something. So we did it on Thursdays with GTA, remember?
That was fun.
We actually grew the channel off that too.
And then my Xbox blew up and ruined it.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. And try time for Scotland, says Cameron. Yeah, once again, running in for another try there. I believe it was Sam Johnson puts the ball over the line and try time Scotland. Is Rugby Itch the only Asian, non-Japanese, and one Filipino rugby fan, Marcus Smith, to like rugby? Is Rugby Itch the only Asian, non-Japanese, and Filipino rugby fan, Marcus Smith, to like rugby? Yes. No, I'm not too sure. He's got quite the background rugby itch. Grew up in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They have now made it through to the World Cup qualifying. Bot game was the only game. There was a nail biter. Every other game was a semi-blowout. Says Yarnbury there.
Rugby itch done some kinky stuff.
Although England, Australia wasn't too bad at times for closeness, but yeah, it certainly was one that you definitely didn't know who was winning right till the final moment. And also that Xbox accident haunts me. I'm fear that someday it might happen to my console as well, says Sebastian. It's a scary moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
It just goes bang.
Bang, bang in the room. Yep. Bang, bang in the room. Oh.
And also Artie shouldn't have gone off. Kane should have gone off as well. I love George Mann, says Jack.
Artie should have been Kane, get off. Kane, get off. Well, I'm going to be the captain.
Now, currently, Argentina.
It's going to be bloody interesting to see what happens next week. There's a small part of me, there's a very small part of me that says the All Blacks are going to be a raging machine and they're going to win that game 40-0 because they're going to get in a lot of shit, man. I was on Facebook when I was taking a shit this morning and, man, just the media.
Very detailed story. He might have been held up again. Yes, he was. Also, Timo and Ref killed the game flow in that Australia-England game. Yeah. And also, the night of the Xbox explosion. Yeah, it was a scary one.
I'm very opinionated about the ref. I have not liked the referees so far this weekend.
Quick tap. And now Facundo Isa gets close. They're just short of the line. This is brilliant defence from Scotland. Throughout this fixture, they've been able to hold them up a couple times, which has really stopped them from being able to get themselves over the try line. Now only a few metres out. You've really got an itchy foot.
Oh, yeah, man. That's called doing it.
Doing it well.
Come on, you losers. Score us right.
And Australia anthem was so cool. Says it was there from Dalmain. And also, I think New Zealand is going to win by a lot as well. Kiwi backlash is inevitable, says Ronnie O'Sullivan and All Blacks are well known to strike back with a vengeance in Test 3. And also, what do you think, Henshaw? Or do you think Henshaw should start on Saturday? I mean, now that Gary Ringrose is probably out with a concussion, I think Henshaw will start at 12 and Bundy Aki at 13. Yeah. Might be the combo they go with. Facebook blowing up about the ABs. Says Nathan on Facebook, only deserve credit for when you're on the... That's the thing. I used to just play the games, Farmville.
So, in the All Blacks squad, who are they going to have back next week?
Maybe Jack Goodyear and David Harvilli.
What about Whitelock?
Delayed concussion's a tricky one. That's nice, but he has been dragged down there. Still 5 metres out. This is great work from Scotland. In defensive side of things, it is going to be now a scrum feed for Scotland there. And also, the best thing that happens to the ABs is lose. They get back as real, says Garland. And also, surely stream Wimbledon's tennis final. Nick Kyrgios is in it for the first time ever, says Xavier. Although we haven't really followed any of the rest of the competition that I can think of anyway.
Yeah.
And also the George emojis from Dalmain. And also why then our captain couldn't rally the boys last night is beyond me, says David there. Sam Whitelock gone for the third test, bro. Okay, so he's still going to be out. And George, are your parents Dutch or South African?
Both.
Really?
We're so Dutch and South African, we've become German. He's always wins.
Is that your German, is it?
I don't know how to speak German.
Do you think you'd ever learn?
Oh, I'd be keen. It's pretty cool language. Hey, voice. I don't know how to say it.
And also because he's not a captain or a starter, and also Sam Whitelock's gone for the third test match, and also the full Southern Hemisphere teams wanted to lose to make their countries a bit richer.
Experience in there, man. We need to get some of this, a few players that actually want to win. They just weren't joining rucks.
Scott Cummings making his way onto the field.
Can't believe South Africa lost.
And New Zealand. And Australia. And WF happened this weekend. I think it just went a bit strange. Overall, the whole Southern Hemisphere didn't play like they wanted to win, like you said.
No.
And also, I speak German, says Gavin there. There you go.
What were the South Africans like? Why did they lose?
It just weren't clinical enough, really. They didn't really have too many opportunities.
Yeah.
Because I know that people were saying because Pollard missed 2 kicks, but they should have won it more comfortably.
Yeah.
If they won it.
Yeah.
It's not quite getting over the try line. That was me speaking very softly. And also, does George speak Afrikaans? He does not. And looking forward to Georgia versus Italy tomorrow. Yeah, it's going to be an awesome game. I'm very sad that they may not be showing it here in New Zealand, which does suck. Because I feel like that's going to be an awesome match. Argentina, close. But once again, just short of the line, Gonzalo Berrano gives it off now into the hands of the number 17. Good tackle made by Hamish Watson.
Shut up. Get there.
Close.
He's there. He's not
And the
there.
Sanzar teams will bounce back in the third test with a revenge. And I speak to your mum. Says Peter, like, do you? How's she going?
What, Peter? Hold up. You just make a mum joke? I speak to your mum.
Someone was speaking to my mum earlier on. Someone was like, your mum sounds hot.
I wonder, Havili and Quinn out only changed the AB's backline company. Oh, if Havili's available, put him in there. It's going to be interesting to see what happens, whether or not Foster changes shit. We just, yeah.
Do you think you give two of us a shaker run?
No way. He'll be useless. He won't know what to do.
Flower of Scotland, when will we see you like again? Who stood and died for your wee bit? Hill and Glen. Isn't that a beautiful little song?
No. Yeah, that's great.
Right, they're checking to see whether or not there is a try being scored out. All mums are hot. Says Gavin there. I timed out, lads. His comments are getting too weird. Says Sebastian in there. And also the Southern Hemisphere will win the game. It really matters the decider. And there's Cooper Cronk.
Who did he pick?
I think he might have timed out
Peter
for being a bit strange. I'm sure when Peter comes back, he will be well behaved.
Yeah.
All right. Also, Northern Boys making the series very interesting in it. 4-4. Reason lives again. And also whether there George would take Dave Rennie as AB's coach if he got offered. Says Xavier Brown there.
I'll take Scott Robertson.
There you go. Now 10 minutes left in this contest. Quite a nice morning overall. Like, it seems very relaxing. I don't know whether or not that's because I'm very sleep deprived. So everything seems relaxing. You know? Like, my face is stuck. Like, if I went like this, I would stay like that. And also, Lisa Whainaunuku will probably won't play another AB's game with that shocker and Will Jordan and Reese. And then Bowden Barrett needs to go off, says Balmain, and also Jake White to coach the All Blacks.
Bowden Barrett is consistently pissing me off. He was invisible for the Blues as well. He's just not there anymore. He's invisible, man.
That's a great push from Scotland. And they get themselves another penalty. Do USA versus Chile, says I am nutty at that stage. I think I will be pretty asleep. Or maybe with George. And also, do you prefer to coach the backs, or would you prefer to coach the backs or the forwards? You'd be a back man, wouldn't you?
Yeah, probably. But then again, I like the forwards because you need them.
And also, fair play, Hamish. You put in a hell of a shift today, cheers, says Gavin. Yeah, we did start about 21 and a half hours ago.
Wagwan.
It's an annoying little fella, isn't it? I'll just get the scissors and
That's what
snip
I
it.
say when
snip
I
it
look at
straight
my
off.
dirt. It's an annoying little fella.
Yeah. God.
No, my duck's huge.
I respect to Hamish and Tony G. And there says, I'm weak dotted. And also, gosh, we should have Stacey Jones as coach, says Delamain. And also, we have got there. It's okay if you're asleep. We'll represent the Southern Hemisphere accurately then. And also, Hamish sleeping with George. That's scary and creepy. And there as well. To Semi Sosa, he'll be driving to some sort of food place and I'll sleep in his car. Hey, George. Bros before KFC.
No.
Or cars. Cars, bros. And Northern Hemisphere teams are making these series interesting. Let's go. Yeah, I'm glad that they have made them 1-1 right across the board because now, no matter what, every game this weekend has something on the line. A big thing on the line. I can't believe Tonga let the game slip against Samoa. Yeah, they were doing so well. And they just let it go at the end.
You know, Hamish is funny because I'm not allowed to go to KFC without him because he says, oh, you won't give me what I want.
I just like going for the road trip with you.
You fall asleep.
No, I haven't fallen asleep yet in your car. That's one thing I don't trust if I fall asleep in your car. Because, you'll probably,
I'll probably prank you and pretend we're driving off the road.
Yeah, well, you'll prank me acting like we're driving off the road by driving off the road. That's what you would do. So, yeah, you got to keep alert. And also, have you been to Oz for George? Have you been to Australia?
No.
And also, I needed a puff after the AB's game. And thanks for the quality commentary for each of the games today. In a few minutes, you'll be able to have a well-deserved rest, says username. And did you see how small and terrible that trophy looked between the ABs and the Irish? Well, the Irish and there says the Andre, and also now Sky High says Cooper Cronk and bus fares are half price, lads, says Abiel. There you go. And are you friends with 2 Cents Rugby? I have talked to him, I think, once.
Have you?
In the past. Not like in person, but message-wise. Because I was warning him about the fact that I got a copyright strike. And then he got a copyright strike about an hour later. And went, oh. Whoops.
Oh, wow.
You were right. There you go. It's most matches due to 4x4ing. Awesome effort, guys, says Dalmain there. Augustin Crevi throws it in. 7 minutes left in this contest. Facundo is a short ball off. Argentina want to get themselves 1 or 2 more tries at least in this contest to make it an interesting finish to the match. No clear release. And the penalty goes the way of Argentina. Still no clear release. Referee doesn't look too happy.
He's pissed off.
Looking into the sun, that's why.
Yeah.
Getting his vitamin D. Santiago Carreras will be kicking this one into the touch.
I'll tell you what, Argentina have been down here a lot. Not have done anything. They haven't done anything. No tries. Keep dropping the ball. Keep missing the chances. They're just shit.
They started the match a lot better. Since you arrived, Scotland have done better. Argentina have done worse. So you jinx the Pumas, but you help Scotland. You know? But now, looks like it is going to be another rolling maul starting to open up here. 74 minutes through this contest. And Augustin Crevi at the back place for the London Irish in the Gallagher Premiership. Escura now goes back across, and also this is a massive defeat at home, though. 20-plus points. No Cerveza for the Hombres. Says Sebastian there as well. Yeah, Argentina will certainly be disappointed with the way that this one has gone. Yeah, they will see what they can do to improve. And bloody hell, just tuned in. What's going on with the Southern Hemisphere, says Fleshin. Don't know. It's a very good question. Because the thing is, that makes this even more impressive, I should mention. All of the games also played in the Southern Hemisphere. So if it was in the Northern Hemisphere, still extremely impressive. But I think the fact that they were able to beat all of the Southern Hemisphere teams at home just makes it that much more impressive. Marcos Crema has the run. Escura now flows to Facundo Is. It's now 75 minutes through this contest. Now passing it back across Escura. One more. Emiliano Boffelli. He's dropped it again.
Are you serious? How can you? This is like the 4th time since I've been here you've had a chance. What are you doing?
And also, I'm from Ireland. I have to say I'm so happy we beat them in New Zealand. Still a long way to go, but it's the right step. I'm going to be pessimistic about the World Cup till we actually perform in a quarterfinal. I think that is from James as well. But yeah, it is great to see.
Smart thing to say, James, because I know a lot of the Scottish and the English will be getting a little bit ahead of themselves, I would say, when it comes to the World Cup.
Still 500 days away, isn't it? Or something around there. So I like the optimism.
Especially, like I've seen a lot of comments on channel saying England for the World Cup. You know what I mean? I'm just like, well, how can you? I'm an All Black supporter. We lost. And even before that, I didn't think we were going to. I won't know if we're going to win the World Cup until we're in the semi-finals. You know?
And also, we've got there. Cheers, lads. It's getting late here. See you next week. So here's Gavin with a question mark. You certainly will. We are going to be covering at least 6 games of international rugby next week. Later on in the week, we have actually got the Māori All Blacks taking on Ireland and the State of Origin over on the Kiwi Lads Sport channel. It's coming up. And dear Fleshin, I imagine being a South African. Well done, mate. Says it was Gareth there, and also cheer from Amsterdam, boys. Says Luca there. So I appreciate you being here, mate. Currently, Kenny Alatupo had a great game. Says Dalman, you did try and muscle up well. Oh, it's ripped away again from Bennett. This is great goal line defence from Scotland.
But is there a knock-on from Scotland?
I mean, even if it is, it's still try saving, isn't it?
Yeah.
Goal line dropout. It's the call there.
Goal line dropout.
There you go. Once again, Scotland, they survive.
Stop complaining, Scottish. There's a goal away.
And also, Japan weren't far off beating France. Yeah, I feel bad for Japan because they get so close every time.
It's
and
interesting with Japan and France because they've both got the sort of same model. They've both got high-end domestic competitions. They have, billionaires and large corporations owning clubs. They buy in marquee players, but I feel like Japan's another, team that if they rise up could be like a world number one team.
Well,
if they really focus on producing better players,
they are called Land of the Rising Sun.
Yeah.
Maybe Land of the Rising to number one in the rugby world
what
rankings.
was the score between
5 points difference, 20 points to 15, I think it was in the end.
That's good. I mean, maybe Eddie Jones needs to go back to coaching them. Because he did well under them.
And also, Ireland haven't had really properly had a good performance in a World Cup quarterfinal since 1991. It's the closest we've ever gotten to a semi. So until we actually get past quarters, I'm going to be realistic, says James there. So our win wasn't a great game, but it's significant as Ireland's win, says Flesh. And that's the thing, I still get Rugby Geeks server notifications throughout the match. So I saw you guys chatting away about what was going on. I saw that there was much confusion for Alan Wynne-Jones's yellow card, which he did end up getting, that they didn't go upstairs for, and he didn't give away a penalty at all from it. Also, really, New South Wales going to win the decider in Suncorp, says Garland, and it's going to be a pretty awesome one. We are actually going to be doing that one on the Kiwi Lad Sport channel, myself and my dad. Actually going to be covering that one. As Kura gives it off to Marcos Crema, now 77 minutes through the smash. Beautiful run from Augustine Crevi, finds the offside, but it's been dropped again. And on Independence Day for Argentina, it just certainly hasn't been quite going the way that they want it to in this matchup. And also going to call it a night as well. Thank you for the great day of rugby. Take care, all. Big love as well, says Sebastian. So we will see you later on, mate. And do appreciate you being here now. Nice run from Santiago Cordero. A little bit closer there for him. My voice is just about to give out, so this might not be a terrible time for this match to almost end.
Yeah.
It's got a...
he got pushed.
He got a little bit of help there.
Run, though.
And that was actually from his back replacement who helped him out.
Has he got his hands on the ball?
Straight on the ball. Scotland win another penalty. The only teams Japan haven't beaten now are New Zealand, England, Australia, and France. They do have a draw against France, though, says Ronnie there. But yeah, I'd say in the next 10 years, we're going to see Japan beat at least 3 of those sides.
I kind of want to see Japan become a top 5 team. You know what I mean?
And also, we just have to destroy Ireland in cricket tomorrow. I think it is. Says Cooper Cronk there. Is it tomorrow or is it today now that the ODI has taken place? I think it's over there, isn't it? So it's a bit of a weird time, actually. Leah Kinghorn. You have to kick this one for touch.
La, 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 la.
That was lovely.
Yeah, I know.
And also, this for Scotland is pretty good. Scotland can also have so many false dawn. It's constant cycle for them. They average at best until they win the Triple Crown. They are very mixed, says James. And that's the thing, without a Stuart Hogg and a Finn Russell in this lineup, say that they'll be relatively happy with the way that they are developing just in this competition up against Argentina. But it's a whole different one when you're no. Argentina just giving away the ball again, weren't they? Offloading it back to one for Nerva. Now looking to try and find himself a gap, just runs straight at Argentina, and the ball looks like it's going to be popping out the back. I think Japan will beat France, Australia, and England in the next 10 years. New Zealand might be a reach, though. Having a world-class team like Scotland haven't beaten New Zealand yet. I think Scotland in the next 5 years beat the All Blacks.
Yeah.
Do we play them at the end of this year?
I don't know.
Now back across Ali Price. Looks like Scotland just using up the rest of the time on the clock here.
Yeah.
30 seconds. What's the call from the commentator?
30 seconds.
Ali Price now kicks it downfield.
30 seconds.
And now Argentina, they consider taking it quickly, but they don't. And also the only home nation who haven't beaten the ABs. Here's Cooper Cronk there. And yeah, Ireland making history by beating New Zealand on New Zealand soil today. Wales making history for beating South Africa on South African soil. And it was actually like 2 massive ones in a row. And also Northern Hemisphere teams must have been jet lagged, says Delmain. And also the North is catching up to the AB style rugby, says ABL. And yeah, but now 80 minutes through.
That's a very interesting debate, though, as to whether or not, because it's that rush defence that apparently has called out the All Blacks. and they've never adapted to how to attack against it. I feel like in the first test, they actually kind of had it because that was that off the back of the ruck quick ball. But they need the forwards to do their job when they want to play like that, and that was the issue. I feel like they actually had it solved because I think that might have been the strategy before the series started. Someone said that the All Blacks were working on a new thing to conquer rush defense, and I think that might have been
Scotland. Sorry.
Yeah, I think that might have been it.
Hello, George.
Yeah,
it's Peter again. Hello, Peter.
Hello, Peter.
And like Scotland under 20s got beaten 55-19 by Georgia, so I think Scotland are a bit behind. I think they also got beat by Italy. That is the quick tap taken by Scotland. Ball goes into touch, and that is the end of the match. And it will be a win for Scotland, 29 points to 6 in this contest. To be honest, it's all about goods quality rugby at its best, and World Rugby growing bigger compared to 22 years ago. More countries playing rugby, and also we have got the ad. George, are you going to cuddle Hamish?
No.
And also, George, you should entry Palmy Idol with that voice.
No, I'm good, man. I don't want to get assaulted.
That was a really good night, says it in there. But yeah, we do appreciate every single one of you for being here throughout this live stream. 29 points to 6 at the full-time score. This will be the last live stream of the day that we have got. But on Tuesday, we have got the Māori All Blacks taking on Ireland. On Wednesday, we are actually hopefully going to be doing Fiji versus Samoa in the women's department. And then alongside that, we are going to be doing State of Origin over on the Kiwi Lad Sport. But I do thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel.
Wait up. Go like and subscribe to the Kiwi Lads gaming channel.
There you go.
Before you all leave.
And so what's the predictions for next week, Northern Hemisphere or Southern Hemisphere? I think it's going to be, I want to say it's an even split 2-2.
I want to say the South Africans and the New Zealand aren't going to let not a loss. Because they're the same. South Africans won't. They'll come back. It's going to be a hard game for both Ireland and Wales. So hard.
And good night, guys. Have a good one until Tuesday, says Cameron. You too, mate. And yeah, nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning in, and we will see you all